So I have this Matt Powell video that just barely came out on his channel a couple of days ago. I'm not getting dragged into the RN Raw nonsense that he's got going on with him, and I would hope Matt would be smarter to know that you don't pick a fucking fight with RN Raw, especially when it comes to the concept of evolution. You're going to lose every fucking time. And it's funny to watch him chase after him as hard as he is trying to get interviews and trying to be able to put him into his next movie. But anyway, I have this video from him talking about young preacher's testimony, which this is your own channel. You could just say it's your testimony. You know you can do that, right? Are you hoping people are going to mirror this thing? Well, I guess we kind of do on Utah Outcasts. Some of your stuff gets slightly mirrored, but with lots of fun little commentary in between. So anyway, here's Matt Powell.
One thing that really kept me on track growing up, people are like, oh, you were so sheltered. You bet I was. And I'm so thankful for it looking back.
Now, Matt, I wasn't there for your life, but I know somebody who was. And from commentary that I've heard, you weren't that sheltered. I mean, just go back and watch your old videos. I bet you probably took them off your channel where you're playing college basketball and stuff. That doesn't look like the life of a sheltered Christian kid to me.
My parents sheltered me, and when I was 18 years old, I went out and I got my first job.
The fuck is your problem? I started working when I was 16. What, you afraid you're going to see something like harsh at work? Are you going to be running into people that you shouldn't be talking to? Oh my gosh, that person is not a Christian. Oh my God, I can't talk to them. Oh no, that lady over there, she's not married and she's kissing that man. No! Or something like that, I don't know.
I was 18 years old, and I realized when I got my job, I said, there's no way I could have handled this if I was 15. There's no way I could have handled all the insanity.
Where the fuck were you working for your first job? Were you doing like jizz cleanup in nudie booths or something? Or, let's see, 18, so you couldn't do anything alcohol related, I don't think. Or maybe I'm thinking this with Utah standards, but what job were you working at where there was insanity? When I was 18, I was working as a grocery bagger, but that place was Mos Eisley. It was the wretched hive of scum and villainy that grocery stores and department stores in particular are fucking, what's the best word I can think of here is fucking gangster. There's some crazy shit that goes on in department stores. But insanity? What the fuck are you talking about?
You know, all the crazy stuff that goes on in the workplace, and I'm so thankful.
I did have a friend drop acid at work one time. That was a pretty interesting story, especially since the machinery that was carrying along pastries in the warehouse we were working in, it broke, and so he was getting showered with muffins. His experience of that is something I'll never be able to forget. God, that was funny. I'm
so thankful that they took care of me, and they actually taught me how to reason. I'm thankful for that.
Yet you're a young earth creationist Christian who keeps trying to go after people that are a lot more educated. That, I know that's like an appeal to authority, but that's okay if the authority knows what the fuck they're talking about.
Amen. Amen. And you know, the one thing that kept me away from the world,
vaginas?
The Bible says pure religion and undefiled is this, that you take in the widows and help the fatherless.
Yeah, vaginas.
But he says also, what you need to do is, he says, you need to remain unspotted from the world.
Again, vaginas.
And, that's pure religion, the Bible says. And, the one thing that kept me unspotted.
Maxi pads? Diva Cup. Any other feminine hygiene products that I might not be aware of. I've got a house full of 4 women, so I'll be buying plenty of these things. Was when my dad took me out. He took me out soul winning constantly. Every Saturday. Amen. We went out soul winning, and I wasn't very good at it. I was kind of a shy guy. What truck stop gas station was that?
Still, I'm a little shy sometimes.
Well, I mean, you don't have to be shy. The glory hole knows no fear. I mean, especially as long as they put that grommet around the inside of it so nothing gets chafed up by the cut-up particle board or whatever those things are made of. I'm not speaking from experience. But,
he took me out, and we went and went, door after door after door, and I got to see the result of Islam.
People who are just as religious as you are? The result of Islam. I know he's going to get to it here in a second, but let me bring up your person that I know that wrote me a nice little email about you, Matt. You were an atheist from the age of 7 to 11. It's kind of interesting. Or is it one of those things where you're claiming to be an atheist or you hate God or something like that? And, you know, not the actual, don't have a belief in a God. You went from Messianism to Judaism, and it says here in atheism. So you had all sorts of different belief systems. It says here that your parents were flat earthers, but you're not. I wonder what Guzman would think if he found out you were a flat earther. The
result of Judaism, even.
The result of Judaism is your Christianity, you fucking idiot.
The result of Hinduism, and just how messed up these people were.
There's the Matt Powell special, guys. He's going to just throw a random fucking adjective at the camera and not back it up with anything, because he's going to be like, how messed up they were. How? How were they messed up?
I got to see the result of atheism too, and that's why I hate it so much.
Oh, okay. You hate a non-belief. Good job.
That's the one thing that, like, it's like, wow.
It's like, wow, huh? Like, wow. It's actually pretty fucking boring when you come down to it. It's not something you need to base your entire fucking life on. It's just a non-belief in your God. Everything else is fucking gravy.
How crazy do you have to be? But I saw all these.
Oh, how crazy do I have to be? I'm not the one running around reading a book where there are talking snakes, talking donkeys. There's an omnipotent, omniscient, all-loving God who had to create his own son to sacrifice himself to get around the blood laws that he created and the rules that he created in the universe to begin with original sin. Need I go on? I mean, your Bible is fucking wackadoodle. I've read enough of it. I've read it cover to cover. It is fucking weird. It's written in a bad language. It was badly translated from other bad translations, using words that didn't mean what they meant when the Bible was originally written. Dude, I'm crazy? All of my people that watching this are fucking crazy? You're the one that's insane. You're the one that thinks that, oh, well, God made man out of dirt, breathed life into it, and then next thing you know, he took a rib out of Adam and put it into Eve, and all of a sudden, she was a female. I have friends that were Christians that believed that men had one less rib than women did. You want to talk about insane? Religion makes people fucking believe stuff like that. That's insanity.
Things, and it kept me out of sin, and it kept me out of things, and because I'd look at a drunkard and I'd say, wow, that's, you know, he's got a Bud Light next to him. That's what that does to somebody.
A drunkard with Bud Light. Motherfucker, please, we drink Mad Dog. Or we drink, what was the one I used to like a lot that was absolute garbage? Boone's Farm. There you go. That's what drunkards drink. Drunkards like to drink Old English. Drunkards like to have shit scotch, shit whiskey, bad vodka. We're talking plastic grip bottles. You know, the ones where you can buy a hip bottle for a couple of bucks and just get smashed off of it. We like Steel Reserve. We like those weird flavored Four Locos that are out there. That's what drunkards like. Drunkards like to get shit done efficiently, so they're usually drinking Everclear. I bet you don't even know what Everclear is, because you're talking about Bud fucking Light. Jesus Christ, man.
My goodness. You know, guy sleeping in his own vomit in his front yard in the summertime.
Don't judge. Have you tried it? Getting smashed every once in a while is good for you.
You know, I'd see some other adulterous woman.
Now, how do you know she's adulterous? I mean, come on, man. Are you just assuming that all women are just loose? What? All right, Matt, whatever.
It was running around, and I saw the anger and the fighting that would go on, and just the hatred when the other man would show up, or the other woman in certain cases, and it would...
Hey, Matt, I came from a Christian household while I watched my father beat my mom. He broke her arm one time. How does that feel? It was a Christian family. Are you going to say that we weren't a Christian family? Doesn't matter what the fuck people do in their own personal lives. It's how they deal with that shit. You can't say that Christianity is some sort of panacea that stops things like that from happening, because it didn't fucking work in that case.
Just, it bothered me, and I thought, man, I don't want that in my marriage. I don't want to be a drunk deadbeat. I want to do something with my life.
You want to do something with your life, so spreading a religion that's like 2,000 years past its expiration date. That's what you want to do with your life. This is what you want to do with your life. Beyond this, I have a really fucking robust life. I mean, what can you say beyond your Christianity? What do you do? Work in an electronics store? Stay constantly mad about gay people? Talk about Bud Light being a drunkard's choice of liquor? Dude, you haven't lived enough to understand what the fuck you're talking about.
And that's what kept me out of sin. Good. So if you're like, man, my kids are falling away. I'm not referring to anybody in here, but there's a lot of kids that fall away from the faith.
Yeah, because it takes just a little bit of an ounce of fucking thinking about something to realize that everything that you've been told your entire life, especially when it comes to religion, is exactly like the Santa Claus story when you're a kid. It's all bullshit. It might make you feel better, and there's a lot of people that know it's not real, but they still continue on with it anyway because they hope they're right. Just some of us have the balls to come out, or vaginas, balls or vaginas, I don't give a shit. Some of us have the fucking moral fortitude to stand up and say, we don't believe that. And you're actively making this place worse to live in by bringing this shit up some more.
And I don't know why. Take them soul winning. Do something that worked for me. Get them under hard, good preaching.
Jesus Christ, man, you are such a sub. It's not even funny.
Get them under a man of God that can...
Holy shit. Did you just... Get them underneath a man of God for some hard soul winning and hard preaching.
that can mentor them and help them. Yes, and shelter them. And I said it. I do believe it. It is fine to shelter somebody.
No, it's really not. You're not preparing them for the real world. Just like how you're not prepared for the real world at all, Matt.